Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we bring you the latest developments in global diplomacy and conflict resolution. In a significant move, Ukrainian and U.S. delegations are set to meet on Tuesday in Saudi Arabia, following crucial discussions between Russian and U.S. officials the day before. These talks, held in Riyadh, centered around a limited Black Sea ceasefire proposal, a move that Washington hopes will pave the way for broader peace negotiations. Monday's discussions between Russian and U.S. officials were described by Washington as a step forward in President Donald Trump's efforts to end the three-year-long war. A White House source indicated that progress was being made, with a positive announcement expected in the near future. According to a Russian source, the talks concluded late Monday, with a draft joint statement being sent to Moscow and Washington for approval. The goal is to release the statement on Tuesday. However, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov clarified that no documents would be signed at this stage, as reported by the TASS agency. Meanwhile, CBS News stated that a U.S.-Russia joint statement is expected on Tuesday morning. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed in his nightly video address that Ukrainian officials will meet with the U.S. delegation in Riyadh following the Russia-U.S. talks. Ukraine's national broadcaster, Ceasefire, cited an inside source confirming that these discussions are scheduled for Tuesday. Last week, Russia rejected a proposal from President Trump for a full 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. Instead, Moscow has agreed only to a temporary halt on attacks against energy infrastructure. On Monday, Trump outlined key issues under discussion. We're talking about territory, lines of demarcation, and power, specifically, power plant ownership. Despite diplomatic efforts, the conflict rages on. As Russian-U.S. talks commenced, both Ukraine and Russia launched new attacks. Kyiv reported that a Russian missile strike wounded at least 88 people, while Moscow accused Ukraine of targeting and killing 2 journalists and their driver. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha strongly condemned Russia, stating, "Moscow speaks of peace while carrying out brutal strikes on densely populated residential areas. Instead of making hollow statements about peace, Russia must stop bombing our cities and end its war on civilians." Maritime truce. The talks in Saudi Arabia follow a series of high-level phone calls last week between President Trump, President Zelensky, and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Additionally, Ukrainian and American officials had met in Saudi Arabia on Sunday. Trump's administration has scaled back diplomatic support for Ukraine and has taken a less critical stance toward Russia than his predecessor, Joe Biden. However, Trump asserts that his primary goal is to bring a swift resolution to the war. The White House has emphasized that the initial focus of the Saudi discussions is securing a maritime truce in the Black Sea, allowing the free flow of shipping. While naval battles have played a limited role in the war since 2023, after Ukrainian forces pushed Russian naval assets further from contested waters, ensuring safe navigation remains a key concern. Kremlin spokesman Peskov noted that this is primarily about the safety of navigation. He also pointed out that a previous UN-backed Black Sea shipping agreement had failed to meet some of Moscow's demands. A source familiar with the planning of the Saudi talks disclosed that the U.S. delegation is being led by Andrew Peek, a senior director at the White House National Security Council, and Michael Anton, a senior State Department official. On the Russian side, Grigory Karasin, a former diplomat and now the head of Russia's Upper House Foreign Affairs Committee, is representing Moscow. Interfax news agency quoted Karasin as saying that Monday's discussions were progressing creatively and had addressed several irritants in U.S.-Russia relations. Trump has expressed satisfaction with the negotiations so far, praising Putin's engagement. However, European leaders remain skeptical. Many believe that Putin's demands have not changed since 2022, when he first launched the full-scale invasion. The Russian president insists that Ukraine must officially abandon its NATO ambitions and withdraw from 4 regions that Moscow has unilaterally annexed. White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz told CBS Face the Nation that U.S., Russian, and Ukrainian delegations were gathered at the same facility in Riyadh. Beyond discussions on a Black Sea ceasefire, the teams are expected to negotiate a line of control between the warring armies, focusing on verification measures, peacekeeping, and freezing military positions in place. As global tensions remain high, the world watches closely to see whether these diplomatic efforts will yield tangible results. Will the discussions in Riyadh bring an end to the conflict, or will the war continue with no resolution in sight? Stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates.